It's really wonderful to transmission with your host, Vinny the Wonderful.
It's me, it's Vinny, and I'm back with today's topic, which will be Dragon Quest Dai no Daibouken, which is an anime from 1991 that I've recently finished watching. And I know that 2 years ago there has been a remake. I watched the first episode of the remake. I have not watched the entirety of the remake. I'm not too sure if I want to do that. Perhaps I should just launch into like a comparison, which is not quite fair because again I only watched one episode of the first one. Of the remake. But if you're not familiar, it's an anime that is set in the world of Dragon Quest, kind of inspired by. I don't think it's the same scenario, but they do have the same magic spells and monsters. The overall concept of a hero and Mao, which is a demon king or a demon lord or dark lord, however you want to translate it, which is present in a lot of fantasy anime, and it comes from this. It comes from Dragon Quest. This idea that there is every now and again a demon lord, and you need a hero to defeat him. It comes from Dragon Quest, I'm pretty sure. Perhaps I should do a little bit of research on that. So anyway, the reason I'm talking about this is that I've been quite enthralled by Dragon Quest in general. I have been playing all the games in order for quite a while. I think I started playing them in 2017, and I am still midway through Dragon Quest V. So yeah, I'm going slow because I don't play a lot of video games. As I've said before, I love video games, but I don't spend a lot of time with them because I like spending time drawing. But video games are awesome nonetheless. And so Dragon Quest, I kind of played the first one, loved it. Then I played the second one, loved it. Then I played the third one, absolutely loved it. The fourth one was interesting because it's more story driven, and it's also the same with Dragon Quest V. But anyway, then they made this anime, and this anime Dai no Daibouken is, I can't tell you how popular this anime was in my country when I was a kid in the 90s. However, I did not watch it as a kid because my stupid self thought that this was a ripoff of Dragon Ball. And I, even as a kid, I guess, I kind of hated the idea of swiping and copying and imitating. I had no idea that it's inspired by Dragon Quest, which in turn is designed by the same artist that did Dragon Ball. So the artist that created Dragon Ball, he creates the artwork for Dragon Quest, which is the source of inspiration. That is why they look this similar, even though it doesn't look that similar now that I rewatched it as a grown man. But as a kid, I was so mad that I thought it was a ripoff of Dragon Ball, which again, not that I was a big Dragon Ball fan, I wasn't, but I just thought that this was like a knockoff kind of show. So because it seemed like a knockoff, I didn't watch it, and I guess I would have needed some context to fully appreciate it. Um Having played Dragon Quest 3, I feel like there is a little bit more of an appreciation for the Dai anime, and so the comparison between the new one and the old one. The new one, they have, again, I only seen the episode 1, so they have better fighting. Like the fight is more well animated, but they do use a lot of CG monsters, which when done right can look quite good, but I didn't think it was an improvement over the original. Also, the old one is quite what is the word I'm looking for? I guess raunchier and more mature, be it in the sometimes making some adult jokes and stuff, but the violence, like when they fight the monsters in the original, the hue of the scream goes like red, and some monsters are straight up cut in half and stuff like that. So when it goes violent, it goes a little bit more graphic than the new one. But then again, I probably should watch more to get a better assessment of the new version. But the old one, it has that amazing uh, cliffhanger vibes from episode to episode, because we do have that nowadays in streaming series, but I really miss about like old TV shows, as old soap operas and old anime or whatever. Like the cliffhanger is not empty. Like when you're watching a streaming series nowadays, it feels like stalling. It feels like they're just wasting your time, and then at the end they kind of throw something that make you want to watch the next episode, but not in the old ones. Like in that anime, in Dai, you have a full-on good story, and then some random dude would show up at the end, and you will, at least for me, it did make me like curious, like, oh damn, what's going to happen in the next one. uh, Even though I am good at pacing myself, I don't binge watch. Sorry, I don't binge watch. I see a couple of episodes and then maybe the next day, maybe 2 days later. So I went watching like that. But it does give you like the good sensation of connecting chapter after chapter. Also, it has those gouache and watercolor background paintings that I absolutely love, that I absolutely adore. And that is a masterclass on itself. And the music is great because the soundtrack, like the background music and whatnot, is straight up from the Dragon Quest game. So if you've played, when they're in the battle and they hit you with the dun 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 dun. It's it's so exciting. It's so cool. You don't have to have played Dragon Quest 3 to enjoy Dai, but it in there are some reference to the game here and there. again, if you watch the anime first and then you play the game, it doesn't make a difference. Like it doesn't one does not spoil the other. But talking about spoilers, um, I'm gonna try not to give any spoilers. But the original, the '90s version of the anime, kind of does not end. It gives you a resolution. It's not like it was canceled midway or anything like that. But you don't have the full journey. And I've seen that the new one has 100 episodes, where the old one has only 46. So maybe the new one is complete, is the entire story. And I think that the original was made based on a manga, which at the time that the original one was broadcasted, the manga was still going, so they did not know how it was going to end, and maybe it wasn't popular. Like, I don't know why they didn't make more episodes of Dai. But the fact of the matter is, if you're going to watch the old one, it does not have the full saga. I think I might be more interested in reading the manga if I find it somewhere, rather than finishing up by watching the new version. But I don't know. I don't think I will do that just yet. Anyway, one thing that I find funny about the design choices for Dragon Quest and Dai is that apparently pink is one of the most masculine warrior colors. They have a character that is this huge crocodile man, and for whatever reason they decided that a good design for him was to make him pink. I don't understand if it's a reference to something, but the warriors in Dragon Quest 3, they also wear like pink armor, both the guy and the girl versions. So I find that interesting. So anyway, I'm still working on some illustrations to be uploaded hopefully next week or so. And this has been another episode for Fantasy Talk, because Dragon Quest is within one of the major influences for fantasy in general. Like, even if you don't like Dragon Quest, something that you do like that's fantasy related is inspired by Dragon Quest. So that is why I decided to talk about it. Fantasy stuff is more like my interest and the subject that I like drawing. It's not something that I'm a specialist about, like art, which is something that I studied at university. But I'm still waiting for those emails like, hey Vinny at hotmail.com, HEYVINY at hotmail.com. And let me know if you guys prefer more the episodes being about art, material, and production, and drawing and painting, or just about fantasy, or just general, like, talking about random stuff. Anyway, this is it for now. I've been Vinny the Wonderful. Thank you so much for listening, and I see you all next time. Since Dragon Quest is an RPG, the battle theme will stay in your head, and so when it played again in the anime, like, it really stuck in my head. That was that was why I was singing earlier. I think the intro and the ending for the anime is by the same composer of the video game music, and unfortunately he passed away 2 years ago. So rest in peace, Koichi Sugiyama.